and it'll be interesting to see, you know, what has he actually kept his skills up with, because you can't just have played a champion maybe a couple months ago and then whip him out in an LCS game, because they're just small little things that you have to practice and you have to have muscle memory for.
Well, here we go. The Kazakhs banned out as well. So we have seen a couple of jungle bans go back and forth here. It's going to really interesting, but the Olaf is picked up here for the TheOddOne. So that's going to be right away first pick jungle. Not Elise, but I guess his second pick here. Yeah, probably a jungle. I mean, it's possible they could switch it up, but man, all junglers love grabbing Olaf just because, as we saw earlier today, Zuna, you can, that is one of the champions from the jungle you can hard carry with. You can just go at the other team and destroy their backline. Yeah, and it got banned out against XDG as well in their very next game. I was actually taunting Nintendo in pregame chat. I was like, you better not let Zuna show you up with that Olaf. And then it gets banned so he doesn't get the chance to. So only good Olaf in NA right now, not Nintendo. We're going to see if TheOddOne can keep that mark up. But EG's turn for some picks. InnoX and Snoopeh to lock in the first two here. They're looking at Vi. Like that choice. We've seen her be incredibly popular of late. And I think that this TSM team knows something from scrims or from some intel that I'm not aware of, because the Hecarim ban at the end there, it seems a bit random. Like, we have not seen it had a big impact. It's probably a very specific to EG ban, or it could even just be a throwaway ban. I'm trying to think, because I know there's players who innovate really weird things. Top Hecarim used to be a thing. Way back in the day, I know Cole used to play it. I know a few jungle mains that are just like, oh, I can't jungle. Well, I'm going to play top lane Hecarim then. Hecarim talks about the lanes that get gigantic. And yeah, it's interesting because Vi fills sometimes a similar role if I press R to initiate a fight. But so they know something I don't, unfortunately. The picks, though, coming back to TSM here. It's also interesting seeing Caitlyn back in the mix, but it's going to be Shyvana and Leona picked up here. So TSM ready to go hard. All right, so they take away Krepo's Leona, plus they get that long-range engage. This team, even though it's only 3 champions right now, is a beastly team fight, okay? If they get any sort of speed boost on this team, it'll be ridiculously scary to fight around any sort of dragon or jungle buffs. Any kind of objective that's not under a turret is going to be really, really in favor of TSM. Just looking at that front line looks extremely scary. It definitely is. It's weird, actually. I haven't seen Sivir almost at all since the nerf, since the 3.15 has been played on the tournament realms. And I'm surprised she fell off that much. You know, because she's so good with these kind of comps we're seeing right here. When you talked about speed boosts, maybe they'll go for it. EG, though, still... She does still get a little play in, Korea, right? Yeah, a little bit. We see her once in a while, but she's, more an odd pick. But here we go. Last few seconds on the next ones. Pobelter does get his Ziggs, and Lee Sin coming through. Now, we've seen Lee Sin support. For what it's worth. It's probably you hoping for that one? I am. That's great. It was so fun when they did it. Yeah, and going with another melee when the other team has Leona is a pretty interesting choice. I like that because it would sort of push Leona's itemization more towards Dorian Shield and Face of the Mountain stuff, more health. And away from the extra speed boost that would come from the Talisman. If you make her match your hand-to-hand fighting very early on, then you might be able to delay that extra speed boost. Interesting idea there. Leave yourself some options, and TSM gonna lock in the Zed here for Bjergsen. Sivir AD carry as well. So safe to say this team kind of wants to go ham. Yeah, they've got that speed boost that I was talking about after the first 3 picks, and they've got more here. The Zed, one of Bjergsen's signature champions. A lot of people stepped away from the Zed after the changes to the delay on the Shadow, but he was one of the few players that kept on playing Zed in solo queue, and the confidence there is very interesting because he's going up against Pobelter's Ziggs that we also mentioned. He had amazing time on, and that is a champion that will constantly shove you into your lane. So you're going to want to counter that with high kill potential. Yeah, and so I gotta say that I feel like that's TSM really planning this one out. They know, you talked about it, Pobelter loves the Ziggs, plays really well on it, TSM not banning it, and knowing it will get picked, and then saying, all right, Bjergsen, we trust you to play Zed into this. I gotta imagine that was the game plan here. I like these 2 setups here because TSM, like I said, they're going with these very, very tanky divers, speed boost from Sivir, going to be able to get in there for the back line. Meanwhile, the EG team, not only do they have the Ziggs for the siege and the poke, but they also have the Caitlyn, one of the perfect AD carries for sieging up like that. So very different team compositions here, and we'll have to see which one can get the early advantage and make sort of dictate the pace of the game. That's going to be fun to see the matchup and how these guys can outposition each other and make their teams work the way they want. Now, before we jump into the game, Let's see who you guys think is going to earn the victory here. And according to LOLesports.com, 74% of you think that TSM is going to pull out the win. 3-1 odds TSM.
There's a lot of TSM fans. That's not too surprising there. I mean, they usually have a pretty big margin. There's good star power on the EG team, though.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that EG lost like a internet fan vote that badly, actually, because there's a lot of really good faces there. But apparently the fans here for TSM, that was kind of like a Deficio. Like
I could have followed that one up pretty easily with a Deficio style.
There's a lot of pretty faces on that team. All right. It is the team with Snoopeh, let's be fair.
Okay.
I mean, let's all be real here. All right, guys, getting ourselves into the game. TSM, Evil Geniuses on the screen. And in the blue trunks, it is TSM.
All right, so as expected, you know, a lot of Dorans coming out, but we do see the Leona going with the working towards the Face of the Mountain upgrade, starting off there with a little bit of extra life. That means also when you start that item, you're going to be shoving the lane because it does have the execute still for melees, removed for the range, but still, that means that they're going to be pushing up, trying to get that minion wave advantage so they can get the early level 2. Plus, it's very hard to fight duo lane if they have the advantage of the first creep wave.
And I gotta say, like, you look at this duo lane and you're like, oh my god, I'm fighting against Caitlyn Thresh. I'm at like literally 150 range disadvantage by being Sivir. So I feel like you're right. They really want to push the lane, relieve a lot of that pressure from WildTurtle, and he's gonna have a much easier time getting through the early game.
Yeah, they kind of want to protect themselves with a giant minion, a minion wave,
like a shell of sorts.
Yeah, exactly. So they use that relic shield. We'll have to see if they get to lane early. That would mean that they would probably not want to help the jungler at the first buff that they start at. We'll see if they actually pull that one off or if they just go regular. But anyways, anytime you have that Leona lane, looking for the early level 2, we'll have to see if they go aggressive early.
Yeah, we'll see where the lane movements end up going. Right now, InnoX chilling top. That is top lane Lee Sin. By the way, teleport top lane Lee Sin. We've seen Insec run that before. When that happened, he would teleport to like a ward in like the enemy Wraith Brush, and then jump a wall and kick someone into a mid lane, and Bjergsen would just kill the freaking guy. It was pretty freaking sweet.
So interesting. We do actually have the bottom lane for EG skipping out on helping the jungler. Snoopeh starting, opting to start up in that red buff, means that they are actually going to be the ones getting that minion wave advantage down bottom, and the early aggression from Leona is going to be cut down. Caitlyn does exactly the same thing. She loves to get an early minion wave going because she can poke you so well under the turret. And they do have the Thresh, which is sort of that soft counter to Leona engage. Krepo's very experienced on this champion. He's extremely good at getting the timing down for using those flays to interrupt her engage.
Wow, and already WildTurtle and Xpecial, you talk about the lane matchup, but they missed the experience in the very first minion. They missed gold in the second one, so already things not looking happy. Xpecial's going to try to turn this one back around. So duo lane, early lead for EG. Turtle and Xpecial going to have to try to make up some lost ground as time goes on, but at least they'll have that in the team fights when their ultis come up.
So they're going to, now the only question is how well can they see us under tower and how much harass can Yellowpete get off? Because you already mentioned the low range of Sivir. Wow, the engage early.
Wow, a lot of
not even level 2.
Back out to Xpecial though, 300 health. I don't think he would have done that one again if he had the choice to redo it.
No level 2 there. It means there's no stun follow-up, and he really just has to run away as soon as he Zenith Blades in.
Yeah, the one advantage he had from going Relic Shield is it's cheaper than Doran's Shield, so he gets to bring some potions, but Xpecial taking a bit of pain there. These guys trying to reset the lane back now. Both these guys level 2. Let's check out the other lanes there. Dyrus, the early push into InnoX. You can see actually Lee Sin not liking that one so much.
Yeah, Shyvana, that's why they're the sort of trinity that people are talking about in the top lane are the Shyvana, Mundo, and Renekton, because a lot of the other top laners do have a little bit of difficulty dealing with them in lane phase. Lee Sin is definitely one of those champions that's always been a decent pick up top. You just have to play it very well, and I'm thinking that InnoX is probably going to even be like maxing his Tempest and Cripple first so that he can get extra magic damage and have multiple sources to try and whittle that Shyvana down.
Uh-oh, but Snoopeh is looking around the backside. TSM actually senses that one out. OddOne looks for the top lane as well. These junglers getting a bit feisty. So is Bjergsen actually. Pobelter down low. But there's like the almost moves are happening right here. You still got Snoopeh in the enemy jungle. OddOne doing the same.
Yeah, Snoopeh there just a little bit out from that tri-bush, and they pinged him away right immediately. Here goes OddOne for the dive, already ghosting.
InnoX's shield is on cooldown. He's going to flash away, but one more attack for the OddOne, and that's going to be first blood TSM. 4 minutes 25 into the game, and a couple of lost minion waves.
Now, that's terrible news not only for InnoX for going down, but it's also terrible news for Snoopeh, because a Shyvana top lane is one of the few top laners that will continually be able to shove you in. Wow, Pobelter just walking up for that harass there. Shyvana, she'll shove the lane in, and then she will start invading your jungle all by herself. So that means that it's going to put pressure not only on InnoX, but also on Snoopeh's jungle.
Snoopeh, good luck. You are Vi, and I think Shyvana just wants to take a bite out of you as this game moves on. We'll watch these lanes reset, and only Boots and a Doran's Blade picked up for Dyrus here, so not a huge stat advantage over the Doran Blade, Doran Shield of InnoX.
Yeah, Snoopeh going for the second time's the charm here. Same gank path through the tri-bush. There is no ward. Krepo definitely telling there in the flash engage.
The flash play, the shield though is on here, and can they get the damage onto Xpecial? Ignite is on, that's surely to be a kill, and Snoopeh gets the kill credit there. Both junglers this game getting kill credits.
All right, so that was 2 flashes though. They did use Krepo's flash for the initiate, because he wasn't worried about tipping off this TSM bottom lane. They were obviously like, oh, jungler must be here. Krepo's just running at us by himself. He knew he could get the flash flay off, so all he had to do was make it in time for Snoopeh to get off the Vault Breaker. The successful gank does reward them with a kill.
Well played then by EG, making it a bit closer. Only a 300 gold difference, about what you'd expect when you lose a first blood like that. And they're going to go back to the base. EG picking up some new items. Looks like early Sightstone trip, or at least the attempt here for Krepo, picking up that Ruby Crystal. Whereas Xpecial tier 2 gold generation, actually, he's all in for money.
Wow, the early upgrade is pretty big, and they are going to need more sources of money, because the CS down there for the bottom lanes is not looking very good for TSM. That's not even really due to the kill either. It wasn't due to the gank. It was due to the early shove. They didn't help their jungler at the buff, built up that giant minion wave that we talked about, and they were able to keep TSM under their own turret.
Speaking of under his own turret, Pobelter only level 5, Bjergsen 6, and Belter really forced to be a bit more defensive here. You're seeing him hide away, try to wave clear, but very much respecting the Zed of Bjergsen. Likely to still be a topic we're going to have to watch as we go into this game. I wonder if Belter goes for a fast Zhonya's here to survive that.
Fast Zhonya's is a classic move against Zed, starting with the arm guard, so you get all of that very efficient armor and ability power. Wow, just 2 inches too short.
And OddOne is 2 levels above Snoopeh as well, and he's going to have Smite up in about 8 seconds. Snoopeh forced to leave his own jungle, and OddOne managed to give himself his own ward coverage to keep the counter jungle going. Krepo, of course, getting engaged on by Xpecial. They're going for the fight there, but a level disadvantage for TSM. Not the happiest place. Krepo going to zone them the rest of the way out, and they'll be safe, but the lane finally unfrozen here at this bottom lane.
Man, and even with the early upgrade there of the Relic Shield, he still hasn't been able to get very many executes off because they were shoved so early. Dyrus now in a really tight spot.
He's going to pull it for the OddOne. InnoX level 6 though, and going to help push this one away. OddOne 6 as well. Snoopeh still only 4. Still a huge level lead for TSM. Ziggs Bomb comes out. Still hurts Dyrus, but he's going to be okay. But red buff is now controlled by EG successfully.
Look how much they had to commit though. EG, it cost them so much to try and defend their jungle. Because of that early kill that was up top, because of that early Shyvana lead, man, they're able to jump all the way in towards the red buff, and a whole wave was just lost up at that top turret.
And look at the minion kills starting to spread apart. Of course, you talked about that bottom lane, the great early start to Caitlyn Thresh, but mid lane up 12 minions, top lane up 10 as well, not to mention OddOne getting some extra tax money as well. And now it's just wonderful stuff for TSM with a blue buff now going to Bjergsen.
Ooh, I like this call because of the late blue buff here for TSM, because of the start down at red. They've actually timed it with their dragon aggression. They know that they cannot fight TSM over this dragon, so the only way that they can grab it is if they time it with the blue buff, because they know that the OddOne and Bjergsen are both going to be on the top side of the map. Very, very well played there from EG, trying to get themselves right back in this game.
A really great play calling there. I got to commend them for that one. I guess that is why they call them evil geniuses, because they make some smart calls here. TSM trying to recoup some losses in the bottom lane. And now one thing to point out is that the CS lead will be a bit misleading here, because a lot of Xpecial's minion kills will count for both. So WildTurtle's about 10 higher than you expect him to be, but still, as you said, great lane for EG.
It's still a big deficit there. And we'll also be trying to see if Xpecial can get his executes onto the cannon minions. He'll definitely get much more gold value out of those. It's either that or a melee minion if you can't wait for a cannon minion. But we'll have to see if they can actually catch back up because it's still hurting.
And, you know, speaking of sort of gold value as well, I noticed Xpecial was getting +1 gold for dying minions, meaning he went deep utility to get the extra money. Now, most supports I see, especially tank supports, tend to go deep defense. It's interesting to see Xpecial invest so heavily in monetary gain instead of just stats. It's rare. Yeah,
a little bit more late game focused. And they haven't really played super aggressive. So turns out in hindsight, good idea there.
All right, well played Xpecial then, making the lane work for him. Snoopeh looking around for a counter gank, hiding well in the fog of war. Okay, no, just going for his double golems. But he is level 6 though, so the aggression can turn on here for Snoopeh.
Right, so the possibility of that Vi gank is definitely there. Oh, wow. Bjergsen going pretty deep there in the mid, too. That possibility for the assassination is something that you have to watch out for. Since Pobelter has gone Ignite, and he has not picked up that a lot of Ziggs will do in a matchup like this, going up against an assassin, he has to play even more careful because Bjergsen right now, you can see already cutting through his life bars like butter.
And this is going to be a rough spot right there. Brutalizer already done all kinds of wonderful things for TSM. Only 600 gold lead, though. That the Sneak Dragon hasn't, unfortunately for EG, done that much. And here comes the all-in. Pobelter drop dangerously low. That should be enough to kill him. Doesn't even need the death mark to pop. Goodbye, Pobelter.
Yeah, no barrier, not even a chance to survive that one. Pobelter does, get the jump backwards, but not enough to save his life. And a repeat dive.
Here comes the odd one. InnoX just going down. Goodbye. Kick doesn't do much of anything for him. Well played. Another one for TSM.
And even in moving into the mid game here, the plan for TSM is pretty much keep it going just as they are doing already. Keep your solo lanes, shoving them up, and then dive with the odd one because the dragon is down, so they don't have that really the objective to fight over. All they have to do is keep playing to their strengths on the map. The bottom lane is a little bit behind. Probably don't want to mess with anything there because if you get counter ganked there, then you could turn it around. But if you continually go to the lanes that are ahead already, then even if Snoopeh shows up, you'll have the advantage.
Well, speaking of going to lanes that are ahead, though, here comes the teleport gank with InnoX, a 4v2 bottom lane. This is not going to be happy for WildTurtle. Down to half HP. Box comes across as well. Goodbye to one. And now it's going to be the second one. Nice dodging of Turret Dagger by Yellowpete. And the jump in, flash force. Yellowpete low on health. One more Ignite ticket. Xpecial gets one back, and a lot of resources spent by EG.
It was a good teleport, though. Again, they went to the lane that was ahead for their team, EG, trying to capitalize on the bottom. They barely lost Yellowpete, but still, it was a good first step in getting right back in this.
And you can see the gold 1,700 apart right now as Dyrus actually runs to the bottom lane to hold things up for himself, but the rest of his team still showing up there. So, TSM, really the ones doing a bit better on individual plays. EG is still doing some nice play calling overall. But you said these teams are running in with very different compositions. EG looking for a siege, looking to start a bit more of a poke, sustain type of game, whereas TSM, just a lot more individual playmaking into giant team fights.
And we are getting towards the point, only a minute and 45 seconds here left on another dragon. TSM are definitely not going to want to let that one go. I think EG got sort of a break there, being able to grab the first one. And if they do step out a little bit, then it's going to be very hard for them to avoid getting caught by this TSM team. There's so many tools on TSM for following up any sort of pick.
Yeah, Pole lands onto Xpecial, dropping him to half, though they've still got a minute and a half till that happens. The one thing to point out is InnoX's teleport is on cooldown right now, so he actually has to make the rotation just like Dyrus does to get across the map here. Now EG, they get a turret for themselves. Nice play down here at the bottom lane, bringing the gold lead closer again. The other interesting thing I see is that InnoX is going for the Ravenous Hydra build on Lee Sin. It's actually my favorite build for him, but it's a whole bunch of damage that InnoX will be having later in this game.
It also means that they're going to have tremendous amount of wave clear. Ziggs in the late game is amazing at defending when you are behind, so that's a great thing for EG to have on their team right here. But also, Lee Sin's going to be able to clear side waves really quickly. Nice hook by Krepo.
He's going to get jumped back in on, though. The ulti's so much damage. Xpecial picks the kill credit there. Yellowpete stuck in 1v2. He's not going to like this fight. Well played, TSM.
Yeah, great hook, and you're rewarded with a death. Tough break for him. Xpecial was able to capitalize his ultimate, locking him in place. And now the blue buff contest here, I think TheOddOne is so strong that he can actually keep them there by himself. Snoopeh is going to be forced to smite that one away, so they're at least able to keep it off of the Ziggs, which will help a little bit with that insane wave clear, but it's still going to be very hard for them to push towers, and they'll probably opt to fight for the dragon instead.
Wow, all right, so there we go. It's TSM with control completely here, and EG forced to try to regroup, and, well, we'll see what happens with this dragon. It's coming up right now. InnoX stuck in the top lane. Dyrus already making his way down the map. InnoX about 10 seconds behind him. Can EG buy enough time, or will they even go for this one? Dyrus still in the rotation against the push lane. TSM first look at the bottom lane, and Yellowpete gets slowed. Gets a lantern, but Xpecial's going to land the E. Can he get more box? Slows Xpecial down. The dive is on Krepo. Here comes Snoopeh. Xpecial drop low. His shield's going to end soon, and the damage is going to come across. Nice knock up there. Xpecial does fall. Now can they find WildTurtle? No, they find TheOddOne, though. He's been hooked up. Does not have an ulti anymore. That's surely to be a kill, and WildTurtle forced to run. Can they get enough? Yellowpete's ulti almost back up. Oh, the missed flash, but Snoopeh gets it anyway. A 3-for-0 in trade for the turret. And now Krepo coming in, trying to get away from Dyrus, who's joined the party as well. Does he get the damage he needs? Krepo's so very low. Yes, Dyrus picks up one. Now he will flash. Caitlyn ultimate. Snoopeh Q. And
Oh, no, so short.
nothing. Dyrus gets a 1-for-0.
It was still a really good turnaround there for EG. You know, able to stop the aggression, and then the hook landing on the TheOddOne right as Ragnarok falls off means they were able to get in another kill for themselves and gain dragon control. So they are actually able to grab the second dragon as well. I was completely wrong. They're the ones controlling dragon area here. Bjergsen now.
Ooh, the Q dodge. Does he have the damage? Snoopeh surely to pop right here. Now can Bjergsen get out? Oh! There you go. Jumps to his clone. Bjergsen making it look easy, but that was impressive.
Some beautiful shadow play right there. It leaves the one from the ult. Oh, now Xpecial engages as well. Just by himself, though, so going to have to run now.
Yeah, I don't think he really wanted that one.
Going to have to run now.
He's very aggressive at landing those E's. And about half the time, he's like, I wish I didn't do that. And all right, he's fine. Xpecial's going to survive. He's okay. He's got a sight stone. He's got an Ninja Tabby. He's all right.
I actually really like that play because it's sort of like playing poker against your opponent. You get them in the mindset that you have somebody behind you, even though it's sort of a bluff here. All right, so let's take another watch at the Bjergsen shadow play here. He uses the ultimate now. He already put down that W earlier, and he's going to leave this shadow here. There's a ward on it, which will see him teleport over there, but it's such a long distance that it doesn't even matter, and he's able to get out of it scot-free.
What I really like about that was Bjergsen knew he was coming. He went back first before ulting so that he knew his return clone from the ultimate was going to be the one down there instead of up near the mid lane turret.
So confusing keeping track of all of those clones.
It was really awesome. He went back to leave his ult clone in the same spot, and that's what he jumped back to. Really, really impressive. I really do like the new sort of ability to make plays with the new Zed ulti, just because the shadows are so much farther apart this time. WildTurtle popped his ult mid, though, for not much. His minions won the sprint against the enemy minions, but then they died to Zig, so that's the reward for winning the race. Nothing. They gave gold to Pobelter, so nothing there for TSM, except just holding on to a 3,000 gold lead, despite losing all their dragons.
So all those turrets going down pretty quickly here for TSM, and the TheOddOne's farm really doing a lot for him as well. He's becoming a menace on that Olaf. We'll have to see how. Oh, never mind. Bjergsen going in. Gets shot in the face.
Yeah, 1v2. He's like, never mind. But now, can we get the jump in from Krepo?
Oh,
that hook! Are you serious, Krepo? Can Yellowpete go down? Nah, he'll survive this one. Well played, Krepo. Beautiful hook.
See, this is kind of what happens with this sort of team composition when there is not an objective up on the map, like Dragon, for them to take. You know, they're looking for just sort of random picks and random plays in the middle areas of the map because they don't siege up that well since they're such a short range. And without the perfect vision control and keeping track of the entire team of EG, they do end up backfiring. So the two dragons that EG got, you know, just playing on the opportunities that were presented to them were so huge.
And then they've done a great job here. Their real like team comp goal hasn't come to fruition yet, but they've been making a lot of great mid-game plays here. I got to give props to Snoopeh, 2, 1, and 4 as well, being a big part of these ones. And Krepo, highest kills in the team with 3. I love the kill-stealing support. Good job, Krepo, making your mark here in NA.
He's landed some beautiful hooks, so I'd say deserves them.
Yeah. All right, well, the team's regrouped to the top lane here, and no one from TSM is around to defend this. Krepo going to tank some shots, and then here we go. Maybe an answered turret here for EG if they stay.
They did make the rotation first and able to clear out one wave, but since TSM had the vision of them, they're able to answer. And all it really takes is Dyrus. Even though they made the call for the entire team, you can see there every single member of TSM was rotating up top to try and counter that in case the entire team of EG wanted to fight. But yeah, Dyrus was able to clear that one off, and they turned their sights towards the blue buff.
Oh, and the blue buff got timed by TSM, and they are there first this time around, EG, unless he gets lucky. Nope, Bjergsen picked up the blue buff. Well played here, TSM. Getting some more control, sweeping out the wards as well. And it looks like TSM's starting to turn it on pretty hard right here. InnoX not in a good spot. Dyrus 1v2, kicked backwards, but still on the chase. Gonna fight Snoopeh up a little bit. Should be a good fight for Dyrus actually still. And he's still going in. And then recalls in their face.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
He kills some more minions.
Not only does it only take Dyrus to hold that top lane, but he also is looking for the kill there. Chases off 2 members. The thing about InnoX's build, though, he can lifesteal extremely quickly. And he doesn't actually base after that, even though he was taken down to almost 200 HP. With a Hydra, he just lifesteal right back up off those
crazy.
golems.
Yeah, he's actually maxed Safeguard Iron Will first. So he's got 25 lifesteal, 25% bonus lifesteal on top of the 12 from Hydra. So when he does do the whole combo,
yeah,
like 700 health from minion wave.
And it's area of effect there.
Yeah.
So like I talked about, he can clear a minion wave really fast, and that's exactly what you want for your split pusher. Him having his teleport up now does open up the rest of the map for a play for them to make down bottom side, if they can get wards a little bit deeper. But says that bottom turret went down so early, the wards here for EG are pretty much only covering their own jungle, trying to defend against invades.
And let's see if these guys can get more coverage then as time moves on. Of course, they've had a Sightstone for a while, but different builds here from the supports. Xpecial's upgraded all the way to face the mountain. He's got a single target shield for a friend, scales off his maximum health, whereas Krepo went Sightstone, still no GP10 at all actually, but gets the Locket of the Iron Solari. So AoE shields here, much less money, but if you're going to steal kills, I guess you got it anyway.
Yeah, you know, I guess you can sort of count a Sightstone as gold generation, just because you save a lot of gold from not having to buy so many awards. But yeah, he does not have he's not even working towards that talisman, which is what I would kind of expect for this team here, since this team would definitely benefit from a speed boost to get away from the TSM. They're definitely not letting this dragon get away, by the way.
No, TSM fully ready for this one. Only Dyrus there in the top lane to hold that InnoX split push. And I gotta say, for all the early difficulties that InnoX has been having, he's pulling a good amount of attention despite getting camped pretty hard by the TheOddOne.
So he's an extremely mobile champion that wave clears really fast and has teleport. It's kind of a really good combination. Dyrus, though, he's having a lot of fun with this. He actually does not have a ward in that side bush, but he's got one in the try. So he just saw Pobelter leave at least.
And unfortunately, it looks like InnoX and Krepo not going to be enough to threaten him here. So Dyrus going to walk away pretty safely on this one. And we're in a bit of a lull again. Most of the action has been kind of around dragons. It's been early lane ganks, and then it was like, oh, we killed you all, let's take dragon. Or, hey, you're going to set up for a dragon, let's kill you before you get there. And
wow, look at this chase, though. Down through the jungle here of EG. Xpecial is barely in range of Krepo to ult, but didn't get a good bead on him. Doesn't want to pull the trigger.
Not going to pull for that one just yet. The whole team, actually, for both these teams, was pretty nearby. Could have been a full 5v5, but in this case, not so much. Looks like mid lane going to be where they congregate here. Bjergsen kind of leading the charge. These guys are kind of putting out poke, but not finding much.
Yeah, so it's interesting, you know, on this patch that this sort of team comp where it's really brawly and they don't have very long range to siege up for TSM. It's a lot harder now to sort of gain complete vision control after you have such a strong team fighting presence because of the lack of oracles. I know they have to upgrade those lenses very quickly to be able to get them on cooldown and time to use for these invades. Plus, only one pink ward per member means that's really hard for them to finish. TheOddOne popping that Ragnarok.
And the Ghost as well, trying to run away, but soon, oh, the Flay just not quite timed well. The box going to come across, though. TheOddOne knocked up there. So much damage coming across. Can he survive? No, he will not. Snoopeh picks up another kill there, 3, 1, and 4. And EG again with control.
See, great job. EG, even though they are behind, they've been able to keep their own vision. Yes, TSM is invading our jungle and putting down vision wards of their own, but as long as we're able to keep ours up, we can see when they're out of position. And they catch one of the champions that can go immune to CC, and they still get him, even with that slightly missed time hook.
And they kept up with them for a very, very long time. So There you go. OddOne back up in 5 seconds. And looks like we're right back where we were a couple seconds ago. EG grabbing their own jungle in the face of some wards, but that's fine. And TSM grouping back up towards this mid lane. OddOne going to come back in. The fight's actually going to start in a 4v5. Yellowpete going to take a whole bunch of pain. Can this go down? Bjergsen going to get the damage across. Yes, Yellowpete will fall, and Bjergsen goes back to the team. The jump on in. Another kill picked up by Dyrus, and OddOne going to join the fight in about 10 seconds. 2 for 0 so far. The chase in on Xpecial, who shielded himself with face in the mountain, helped himself survive. So good active there, and we're good.
That's why we were looking for the Sivir pick in Champion Select here. They're able to boost them up and grab that team fight, just force it inside the jungle, catching the duo lane here for EG and taking them out. Bjergsen, by the way, did a great job. Whenever you're on Zed, you can have the confidence to chase that deep because half of what you're doing while you're chasing is leaving down shadows for you to escape already.
Yeah, and you get 5 seconds, just dove like 2 screens and just shows right back up. It says, guys, remember I did this last time? You didn't kill me because I went the other way. InnoX kind of fighting Dyrus a little bit, and you talked about Dyrus on Shyvana being able to invade the jungle and steal stuff away. Once again, double golem stolen away there. Dyrus making life pretty hard for Snoopeh.
And since Dyrus has gone for the Blade of the Ruined King Shyvana build, this is going to be a very tough game for Yellowpete to continue to survive. As we've seen already, he's starting to have trouble now, but the Shyvana boosted in speed by Sivir, plus Blade of the Ruined King active, and Bjergsen's Blade of the Ruined King. There's just so many different things to deal with.
Life's pretty hard when you're Yellowpete right now, and unfortunately for him, he's not starting any defensive items just yet. He's still going for Last Whisper. Maybe we'll see QSS next to get rid of that death mark, but yeah, poor Caitlyn. I don't want to be Yellowpete right now.
Yeah, well, like almost the only option here is for having Krepo position himself far away from Yellowpete, so that they can get one of those late lanterns after Dyrus ults in and commits to one position. They can at least buy a few seconds by completely switching to the other side of the fight. But yeah, besides that, it's going to be fairly hard for them to redirect any of the aggro.
All right, so a minute and a half till Dragon comes back up. TSM back on split push duty. Dyrus now to the bottom lane here, at least for the foreseeable future. Going to clear these minions up. Looking around, TSM actually just doing some pretty normal bookkeeping right now. Actually, WildTurtle full over the wall, and this is not good. Goodbye.
All right.
Wow.
All right, that one deserves a little clip at least, because the small pull that you get with the hook on the second activation there, it was able to get him right over the wall, and Krepo takes it all the way in, securing that kill. Just a beautiful, that is the definition of a pick.
Yeah, that was wonderful. All right, so now EG, they got the numbers advantage. They've sent the one-on-one in the bottom lane, so 4v3 here in mid. They put a little bit of damage onto this turret, but the engage is going to come by anyway. TSM love their underhanded fights. The dive in, good by Yellowpete, and Bjergsen dropped dangerously low and jumps back. He's going to survive. Now Pobelter actually surviving as well, thanks to the locket. No, Dyrus has something to say about that one, but the fight will continue. Bjergsen looking to come back into this battle as well. Snoopeh forced to run back. InnoX! Can he find the kill? The Ravenous Hydra active does not deal enough damage, and now Krepo is in a really bad spot. He's going to go down. TSM just keeps finding these fights that just barely work for them.
4 versus 3, they decided to engage that one because of a beautiful ult there from Xpecial. All right, let's take a look at this one. There goes the Solar Flare, trapping 2 members. And OddOne just jumps in right on them. Bjergsen, like we said, able to easily kill Yellowpete. And then OddOne sticks on Pobelter as long as he can. Enough time for Dyrus to jump in there. He actually flashes over to finish that one off. This is actually a really good play there. InnoX, as you know, lands the Q, but not quite able to finish off Bjergsen.
And now TSM just now equalized the Dragon score as well. EG outmaneuvering and making so many great plays early on to get those Dragons. But ironically, the later Dragons are just worth more, and TSM's picked up those.
So that was a team fight without the Sivir even on TSM, and they were able to win it fairly well, plus get the objective after. Dyrus no longer has his flash, and he's going to have to just try and run away from this one.
Well, he's going to keep trying. The minion's going to go down certainly, but looks like it's not enough damage going to come across here. Could be pretty heavily armor stacking Dyrus.
They take this opportunity, though, to gain an advantage on the other side of the map. Because of the pink ward inside Baron, they know there's no vision of the actual HP, and this is going to be a tough steal for Snoopeh.
Well, they're going to put the ward down, so EG knows about this, but Xpecial trying to lock up Snoopeh in the background. He's going to be okay.
Oh, Pobelter's
so
got his ulti too, though. Ziggs could combo damage here.
There's a lot of bursts available. How can these guys...
This is so dangerous!
Uh-oh, Bjergsen pulled in as well. The dive's going to come on in. Nope, no damage on Bjergsen. That's going to be a kill on Krepo. And Sivir picks up Baron. One smite coming across for the odd one. Snoopeh's going to go down as well. Big fight for TSM. Pobelter forced to Zonies, but Dyrus likely to pick up that kill. No, it's going to be WildTurtle with the credit here. If you count Baron, triple kill for him. And this is a very good fight for TSM.
Like I said, extremely close right there. A jungler does not even grab the Baron. It goes down to WildTurtle.
Woo, the most skilled members of any team.
Yeah, exactly. The ultimate did go off from Pobelter too, so that was a very very chancy play there from TSM, but definitely paid off. They were able to get the objective. Plus now they've got a huge lead with the extra Baron buff running. They're going to be able to grab that turret.
Wonderful stuff now by TSM. Over 10,000 gold in the lead now, 30 minutes in. Right now we hit 30 minutes into the game. TSM still 10,000 in. I made my prediction correctly. Good job, me. TSM, Bjergsen on the split push mid. Dyrus onto the bottom lane. He's going to be pulling attention soon, and it's just over and over. Dyrus pulling the members over, going back into the fight, and turning battles around. We've seen this time and again from Dyrus.
Looks like they are going to pull a split push here. Just shove in 2 lanes. Like I said, their team's not that great at sieging up, but they will not hesitate to pull a trigger on a dive here. Dyrus, you talked about being super tanky. He could be the point man for a dive.
Oh no. Actually, Bjergsen might not get this one. He's going to jump back with his ultimate.
This is only 2 members of TSM fighting.
And he's going to get locked up there. The ace in the hole does get blocked, but Snoopeh still on the chase. Bjergsen flashes out and survives. Would you believe it? Dyrus on the run, slowing the enemy team with the Randuin's Omen, and WildTurtle getting the solo split push mid for a turret. TSM coming ahead on that one. That was crazy.
That was Dyrus and Bjergsen against the world. And they come out ahead.
InnoX not in a good spot. Xpecial, not the best solar player. Flashing for the ignite. Yellowpete can't help him. Xpecial picks up the kill. Bloodthirsty Leona making that one happen. Now Dyrus on the run, but Xpecial. I don't know if there's a way out of this base. You did already burn your flash. OddOne cannot help you. He is not Thresh. Xpecial, you are going to go down. Nice try, buddy. But Yellowpete does get a trade kill. Dyrus gets the turret.
He just threw the OddOne a groggy ice right there and said, "Chug, you're going down. Rest in peace."
R.I.P. in peace, Xpecial. It's okay. We'll see you again in 30 seconds when you respawn and join your team again. TSM, though, they just got a bunch of Tier 2 turrets. They've got 6-1 on that score now. TSM looking very good this game.
So those were some interesting dives by TSM. They did lose a couple Baron buffs with this play, and also the Baron buffs on the members who actually haven't died are getting close to timing out. So the little sort of power play that they had didn't quite go flawlessly, but they did get the turret down bottom as well as a couple kills.
Okay, so here we go. New test for TSM. Can you break into the inhibitors right now? They've got a pretty standard 5v5 team fight. A lot of ways to engage, a lot of ways to dive in. They're going to recall, group up, buy some new items, and try again. Spirit Visage done here for the odd one. He's nice and tanky. Of course, a couple Ninja Tabbies for these guys as well. Infinity Edge now done for WildTurtle. So TSM really doing great on items.
And Dyrus has 300 armor just in human form, so going to get even more when he jumps into dragon form.
Oh, man.
I think he will be okay with tanking a turret if they decide to go for a dive. Just shove up 1 lane, grab 5 members. As long as Dyrus is the one with the first damage there taking the turret shots, they should be able to at least run EG off of a turret.
We'll see if they can do that right here. Baron buff about timeout right now, but they're ready to go for some of this fun. 10,000 gold lead once again. Actually 14,000 at this point. Dyrus sweeps away a ward. Bjergsen on the top lane split push. Looks like Dyrus towards the bottom. Where will the rest of the team go? Snoopeh taking a bit of poke. Stuck inside his own base. All of EG actually stuck inside their own base. Using what wave clear they have to keep themselves alive. TSM still knocking at the door.
I mean, yeah, like we talked about already, the Ziggs wave clear, it's so hard to siege up against that. And then InnoX, building the way that he has, it has just as much wave clear as a Ziggs almost. The only problem for him, he has to get a little bit closer, so it's kind of dangerous.
And actually, Yellowpete in the top lane, very jumped on. He's got a QSS, so he's fine. And now Bjergsen, oh, this is not good for you. Picked up for a kill. TSM going to re-engage again, 4 versus 5. Snoopeh's going to drop. Yellowpete getting ricocheted on. 1 hit from dead. He's going to survive. Oh, nice knockback there. Krepo going to go down, though. TSM 2-for-1 on this fight completely. Yellowpete picks up home guard, is going to come back into this fight. TSM still looking to take down a turret, though. It's getting backdoored, though. So EG likely to push them out here. Good damage onto the TheOddOne.
Krepo just played the dragon out of the air to save his AD carry right there. What a beautiful play. At least saving the life of Yellowpete.
Yeah.
You know, 2 members dying still, and TSM still with control of the map, but they did stop the aggression.
Yeah, and it's that bot lane synergy. So here we go. Yellowpete jumped on. Good QSS.
All right, so he's able to get out of this one, but since Snoopeh uses, you know, the assault and battery to get out here and kill Bjergsen, he does extend himself a little bit, and the rest of TSM not going to let him get away from that one. Let's watch this again, because Dyrus goes in, and it is the play from Krepo. Has him right out of the air.
That was absolutely gorgeous. You know, we talked about bottom lane synergy. Krepo knew Yellowpete was going to die, and so he used Flame.
Not on my watch.
No! Of course, he died too. So, non-scumbag Krepo took it for the team, made Yellowpete live.
All right, so let's take a look at the trinkets, because I think, you know, trinkets are a really good indicator of who's winning the game. It's actually tied up. You know, both of them with 2 sweepers each.
In fact, both supports upgraded them too.
It's yeah. So you get the Oracle's upgrade, but it's something that I don't see pretty much ever, and I've already talked about this once before, but I want to say it one more time. I feel like the orb trinkets are actually a really good comeback tool, because if you just get one when you're on a team that's losing like this and you've lost your vision control of your own side, then you can use it so that you don't have to face check Barons and stuff. It looks like we will have dive though.
Xpecial taking a bunch of damage, but it's a very tanky man right there. Snoopeh dropped dangerously low. He will go down most likely. Pobelter already picking up Xpecial though. 2-for-1 trade so far. Look at this fight go on. Everything is going the TheOddOne's way right now. Krepo going down as well, but Yellowpete in the backlines firing away. Can he beat the TheOddOne here? Can he get the damage? Yes, he can. Look at that fight. Bjergsen, the only guy alive from TSM. Close. 7 seconds till Baron, but EG don't have the personnel to take it.
Okay, there's no Pobelter ulti we can look away. What a good hook. This was just while I was jabbering away about trinkets. But anyway, Bjergsen gets taken down so low before this fight that EG actually have a really good chance here, because TSM are also tower diving. Really good pickup right there, though. Bjergsen does decide to go right back in, and it blow up InnoX. TheOddOne grabbing that double kill that you talked about was pretty huge. The Pobelter Zanyas is going to keep him alive long enough, and Yellowpete with some nice moves, keeping his distance from the TheOddOne.
A triple kill for Pobelter in that fight. He started the game 0-1-0. He's come up to 5-3-3 since then. This kill score has remained incredibly close this game. TSM obviously getting more turrets, but at least one answered back. And EG also stealing away some jungle.
Yeah, look at this Yellowpete red buff steal all by himself. No vision in the jungle. Just going to get that one as quickly as possible and probably try and jump out because WildTurtle's on the hunt.
Yeah, definitely. And so here we go. EG grouping back up. Baron buff is alive. Of course, TSM has been taking all the dragons away.
And they see Yellowpete. He walks by the minions, so they're aware. No AD carry going to be available for EG. TSM in control of the Baron area. This could be another very dangerous one, though, because we know how much damage EG can put from over the wall.
And look at the damage up with there. Down below half. The ult comes across. Snoopeh getting focused on by the entire team, and they've stopped Baron until he goes down. That is Vi, dead, and the team should be coming back. They're Xpecial taking up for the team. Not a big deal. Baron does go down. TheOddOne picks it up. WildTurtle very low, but a kill and a Baron well secured by TSM.
Able to get the kill on Snoopeh while the rest of the team finishes Baron, and Bjergsen teleports to get out again once with the Shadow. Meanwhile, Xpecial have to walk his way all the way around.
All right, TSM. Xpecial low, but whatever. You got a Baron buff on you. 5 versus 4. Baron buff on as well. Mid lane inhibitor turret is dead. Inhibitor itself standing, but of course the numbers advantage shouldn't be that hard to kill. TSM looking for the push.
Yeah, all the ultimates are down for them though, so that's why they're being a little bit hesitant here and just slowly trying to work up towards this inhibitor. One extra man on the field does mean that they'll get it though.
And will they back with this top lane though? Looks like they're looking for it there. The 5v5 is back in action though. Pobelter healing back up, and here comes the damage. Will they look for it? Hook comes across, does land onto Bjergsen. Good target there. The engage is on. The fight started. Who's going to take all the damage? Look at the dive down to the bottom side of the map. Yellowpete dangerously low. He's going to fall. Bunch of kills to start this one out. So far, 2-3 dead for EG. This is not good. Pobelter surrounded by TSM. He's going to go down. Only Krepo left alive. This could be the game ending in explosive fashion. TSM taking a top lane inhibitor, and now the mid lane should have minions flowing in soon. This could be the game.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the game here. Very exciting plays here from the brawly team of TSM. Boosted up once again with On the Hunt.
39 minutes in, both Nexus turrets going down at the same time. The minions all falling over. Huge support there from Xpecial. Bunch of items on him. And then Nexus going to be going down. 39-14 in. TSM making it 1-1.
No, like, real big reactions from them, though, because, you know, they were ahead for so long. Wasn't really, you know, yeah, that's Dyrus.
Yeah, there we go.
Not that big a surprise there. Whoop.
The high five to the cameraman. You always got to look for it. About a signature of Snoopeh's stare. Hopefully we get that one back, by the way. It's been a while.
It's been a while. We haven't actually had it in the North American LCS yet.
No. Last time I was in North America was the Season 2 World Finals. He was on the analyst desk, and we got that one to start things out. It was good. But I missed that. I missed it. It was a good touch.
All right, though. Both these guys, you know, there's a lot of respect between both teams here.
Absolutely. A lot of great players on both sides, of course. No strangers to competitive League of Legends in general. TSM, though, so good.